Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place where we try to cut through all the noise, pulling out the most important insights from, well, a full stack of sources, research, our own notes.
Yep, distilling it down.
Exactly. And today we are plunging into a topic that's, not just central, it's often pretty hotly debated: AI ethics.
Oh, yeah. Big one.
Artificial intelligence is just evolving so incredibly fast, isn't it? Shaping everything from, I don't know, how we get to work to how doctors might make a diagnosis.
It's everywhere.
And with that growing influence, these ethical questions, they're not just academic anymore, are they? They feel really immediate.
Absolutely. They're practical, real-world concerns now.
So our goal for this deep dive is to really unpack the core dilemmas and the guiding principles that our sources are highlighting in AI ethics, basically giving you a shortcut to understanding this complex but honestly vital field, making it accessible.
Yeah, we're not just defining terms here. We want to explore the challenges and maybe some surprising ways these principles actually get put into practice.
Right.
How it works on the ground.
So, okay, when we talk about AI ethics, I think a lot of people might immediately jump to, the sci-fi stuff, killer robots, Skynet scenarios.
Always the first thought, isn't it?
But our sources show it's actually way more nuanced. It touches like every part of our digital lives. From what you've seen in the research, what's maybe the most unexpected or perhaps misunderstood aspect of AI ethics?
That's a great question. Because I think what's truly striking and maybe unexpected is just how interdisciplinary it really is. It's not just tech people trying to stop bad outcomes.
Right.
It's this whole field that, carefully examines the moral side, the responsibilities tied to how AI systems are built, how they're rolled out, and ultimately how we use them.
Okay.
It definitely blends technology, sure, but also philosophy, law, even social science. It's really a convergence of different fields all grappling with this powerful new thing.
And why is that convergence happening so urgently now? I mean, we've had rapid tech advancements before. What makes us feel different? Is it the scale, the autonomy of AI?
I think it's both of those, really. It's the sheer pervasiveness, how it's seeping into everything, and that increasing autonomy you mentioned. As these technologies get embedded more deeply into, say, our decision-making structures, think loan applications, maybe predictive policing.
Yeah, important stuff.
Exactly. AI ethics becomes critical. It's about proactively trying to ensure these powerful tools actually uphold our basic societal values, human dignity, trying to get ahead of it before unintended consequences get sort of baked in.
Baked in, yeah.
It aims to answer those fundamental questions about AI's real-world impact on you, the listener, and society overall.
Okay, that brings up a critical point. The real-world impact. Our sources highlighted some very specific areas where AI ethics really confronts these difficult questions. Can you maybe give us an example, a concrete problem or challenge that AI ethics tackles, perhaps one that might surprise people?
Well, a major one, and it comes up again and again, revolves around fairness.
For fairness, okay.
Most people want AI to be impartial, objective, right? But our sources point out that even with the very best intentions, AI can actually amplify biases that already exist in society.
How does that happen?
So, for example, an AI used in hiring, if it's trained on historical hiring data, and that data reflects past, maybe unconscious, human biases, well, the AI might learn and then unintentionally discriminate against certain groups.
Wow, okay. So it learns our flaws.
Pretty much. So AI ethics asks, how do we first identify and then actively correct these biases, not just in the data it learns from, but in the algorithms themselves, to try and create systems that are genuinely equitable and just?
That's complex.
It is. It's about designing AI so its decisions are not just, accurate, but also fair and ideally understandable.
That's fascinating because it really underscores that AI isn't just some neutral tool. It kind of inherits our human imperfections, doesn't it?
It absolutely can, yes.
So, okay, beyond these specific decision-making moments, like hiring, what are the broader societal shifts or consequences that AI ethics is trying to address? Is it about jobs, power dynamics, human agency?
Yeah, it definitely encompasses all of that. We're talking about AI's effects on employment.
Yeah.
The whole debate, will it create new jobs or displace existing ones?
Right.
Also, its impact on personal autonomy, our choices, and even on the very fabric of societal norms, how we interact. So the field is really about crafting policies and guidelines, ones that don't just mitigate potential harms, but also strategically promote AI's positive potential.
So it's not just about preventing the bad?
No, not at all. It means fostering innovation, but at the same time, safeguarding against misuse. And this is crucial, ensuring that the huge benefits we expect from AI advancements are distributed fairly, not just going to one segment of society.
Okay, equitable distribution.
Exactly. The overarching goal, really, is to make sure that as these AI systems get more sophisticated, more pervasive, they're developed and deployed in ways that consistently reflect and respect our highest ethical standards, not just for today, but thinking long-term, too.
That really sets the stage for why this matters so much. And building on that idea, responsible deployment, our sources lay out some core ethical principles. These really define what responsible AI looks like in practice.
Yes, the guiding pillars, essentially.
Right. I'm curious how these translate, from abstract concepts into actual practical guidelines for developers, for users. Let's start with fairness, which you just touched upon.
Okay.
Our sources emphasize AI systems must be designed for equal treatment, actively avoiding biases, race, gender, socioeconomic status. But how hard is it to actually achieve that in a real-world AI system? Sounds tough.
Well, it's immensely complex. It goes way beyond just, say, removing sensitive categories like race from the data. That often doesn't work or isn't enough.
Why not?
Because biases can lurk hidden. They might arise from other data points that act as proxies for those sensitive attributes. So achieving true fairness means actively analyzing, finding, and then correcting these biases, which might be buried deep in the massive data sets used for training.
So it's like detective work?
A bit, yeah. The goal is to prevent discriminatory outcomes before they even happen. This often involves developing specific techniques to detect and then mitigate these hidden biases, both in the data and within the algorithms, trying to ensure consistent, equitable treatment. And it's a continuous process, not a one-time fix.
Right, ongoing vigilance. Okay, so if fairness is about what the AI does, then the next principle, transparency, seems to be about how it does it.
Exactly.
Now, many people hear transparency and they might think, oh, I get to see all the code. But our sources suggest it's more about making the decisions understandable.
Precisely. That's the key challenge.
So how do ethical guidelines balance that need for explainability with the sheer complexity of modern AI, especially those sort of black box models we hear about?
Yeah, the black box problem is a big one. Transparency means AI systems should operate in a way that makes their decision-making processes understandable, or at least auditable, open to scrutiny. Even if you can't parse every single line of code, which is often impractical or doesn't even help,
Okay.
this is absolutely crucial for building trust. If people don't trust it, they won't use it, or they'll resist it.
Makes sense.
So for instance, in something like credit scoring, it's not really enough for an AI just to spit out a yes or no for a loan application. Ethical AI strives to provide some explanation for why it reached that decision.
How does it do that?
Well, it often involves using specific techniques, sometimes called explainable AI or XAI methods,
Yep.
that can highlight which data points or features were most influential in that specific decision. This allows users or auditors to understand the rationale, which helps ensure accountability and moves us beyond just accepting the opaque black box output. We get something more interpretable.
Okay, interpretable and not necessarily fully transparent code. And that leads us perfectly into accountability. Because if we can understand, at least somewhat, how an AI reached a decision, then the big question becomes, who is ultimately responsible when an AI system makes a critical decision? Or maybe even causes an unintended negative consequence? Is it the developer, the company using it, the user?
That's a core ethical and legal challenge right now. Our sources are very clear on this. Clear lines of accountability must be established for AI technologies.
It can't just be the algorithm did it.
Exactly. It's not just the AI itself that's accountable that doesn't make sense. It's the humans and organizations behind it. Developers, the organizations that deploy these systems, regulators too, they all share in overseeing AI systems.
Okay.
They need to ensure alignment with societal values, with legal standards, and importantly, they bear the responsibility for unintended consequences and for addressing any harm that might be caused.
So how do you make that practical?
Well, it often involves creating frameworks for things like auditability, traceability, and clear oversight so we know precisely where the responsibility lies or should lie when things inevitably go wrong sometimes.
Okay, that's accountability. Now, given how much data fuels AI, I mean, huge amounts, and how often we hear about privacy breaches or just general concerns about personal information, it's really no surprise our sources flag privacy as absolutely paramount.
Absolutely critical.
But beyond just, basic data protection like locking down servers, What specific ethical considerations does AI introduce when it comes to our personal information? Does AI change the game?
It definitely raises the stakes.
Yeah.
Beyond just security, respecting privacy is so crucial because AI systems frequently handle vast amounts of personal data, often highly sensitive stuff.
Right.
So ethical AI development demands really robust data protection practices. This includes things like obtaining genuinely informed consent from individuals before using their data. And that consent needs to be meaningful, not just a checkbox.
Okay.
It also means things like data minimization, only collecting the data that's absolutely necessary for the task, not just grabbing everything you can. And of course, strict compliance with global privacy regulations like GDPR in Europe or similar laws elsewhere.
And this is all about trust again, presumably.
Absolutely. It's not just about preventing leaks, though that's important. It's about maintaining user trust and ensuring individuals retain some control over their digital footprint, their personal information. Especially as AI becomes capable of inferring new, sometimes surprising things about us from seemingly innocuous data points.
Right. The inference part is a bit scary.
It adds another layer of complexity for sure.
Okay, so we've unpacked what AI ethics is, looked at its core questions, and explored these really vital principles: fairness, transparency, accountability, and privacy. For you, the listener, as AI keeps embedding itself deeper and deeper into pretty much everything we do, why should these concepts be top of mind? What's the practical significance for our daily lives?
Well, the practical significance is, frankly, immense. Adhering to these core ethical principles isn't just some, philosophical exercise for academics.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crucial for the responsible development and use of AI in the real world.
Right. It has consequences.
Huge consequences. It's about making sure that these incredibly powerful tools are used in ways that actually uplift our societal values and protect human dignity, rather than potentially eroding them.
So it's about steering the ship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we get this right, AI can be a force for incredible good in medicine, education, accessibility, you name it. But if we ignore these principles, the risks of embedding bias, losing control, serious privacy infringements, those become very, very real. Ultimately, it's about ensuring AI truly serves humanity
Yeah.
and does so ethically, consciously, and sustainably for the long haul.
So there you have it. That was our deep dive into AI ethics. It's clearly a vital and, as you said, very interdisciplinary field dedicated to ensuring that as these AI systems become more sophisticated, more pervasive, they reflect and respect our highest ethical standards, moving beyond just what's technologically possible to what's genuinely good for human well-being.
Right. And maybe this raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider. As AI continues to evolve, maybe faster than we can keep up sometimes, what role do you believe individuals, beyond just the developers and the regulators, what role do we all play in holding these systems accountable to these ethical standards, and perhaps even in shaping their future direction?
That's a great thought to leave everyone with. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.